Yeah, let's do some shooting. These little gophers. Those things are awesome. Oh yeah, baby. Hey everybody, we got another Beyond the Black Shirt episode for you today. It is sweet. So you guys saw the honey badger and you saw the before and afters and all that fun stuff. Well, I was bouncing between the honey badger and the Noveske Ghetto Plaster. So I got the honey badger, built it all out. One of my buddies over at the gun shop was like, yeah, I got a Ghetto Blaster coming in. One of our other friends is gonna buy it. Well, it came in and I don't know the whole story. Maybe just had a change of heart, whatever. Decided not to get it. Uh-oh. If you got one, you might as well have both. Fuck it, right? So I was just like, cool. And I saw it. So I'll tell you kind of a backstory. So I had previously owned two Noveske Ghetto Blasters. Very cool guns. Actually, I've owned three at this point. And due to hard circumstances in my life, I needed to sell them. And I've always regretted it. And I was like, man, I really want to get, a Noveske gun. And it's not that, I necessarily think that it, the Ghetto Blaster outperforms some other 300 blackouts. I mean, there's some great 300 blackout guns out there, but it was unique and it's not common. And I wanted to have a Noveske again and feel like I kind of made, I took those steps back and I'm, moving steps forward. So it was kind of a thing to me that I wanted it. So anyways, what do we have now? I had to kind of cram the stuff back into the box here so you guys get an idea of, the unboxing of it. But here it is, the Noveske. Inside, it says there's a Ghetto Blaster inside. There's a bunch of other stuff too. So, if this is something you're considering, here's kind of like a unboxing for you. So inside, you're gonna find the gun and a plastic bag. And we'll dive into that. But there's actually some really cool stuff in here that you don't necessarily get with other manufacturers. So you have the sweet Noveske hat inside the box. They're going to give you a P-mag. You have your sweet owner's manual. They did a fantastic job with this owner's manual here, which looks really good. Great pictures and stuff like that inside. You have a certificate of authenticity here as well. So you can see right there, certificate of authenticity from Noveske. Gotta have the battle pig going on there. Check that out. Sweet little decal. Nice. Let's see here. Product registration card. Need to do that. Whoopsie. But this is what's really cool is sometimes they put in some like kind of eclectic things, and you know how Noveske is, or if you've seen it in their marketing, they have kind of, funny, eclectic, hipster type of marketing. And look at this, they give you a freaking sucker, and this sucker has a scorpion inside of it. There you go. Got your lock, typical stuff. And then you have a M-lock QD mount for a sling. And then you also have some QD mounts for your sling as well. And a little Noveske lube, little frog lube. So that sums up everything that's inside the box. Here we are, the Ghetto Blaster. Now I've already taken this out and shot it, and it shoots amazing. Oh yeah, baby. As expected. And then when you get it, it's gonna have this little muzzle, a barrel guard on there. So that's pretty much, other than the Vortex like AMG, it's gonna come to you exactly how you see it here. So what I'm gonna do is similar to what I did with the Honey Badger, is I went from, like tip to butt, as Grantham would say. I'm going to do that with this because there are some feature benefits, things to consider if you're looking at going between this and the Honey Badger that I did like, and which could make this more for you than, say, the Honey Badger was. So first thing we have up top here is going to be a Q Cherry Bomb. This is compatible with the Plan B, which you can put on. There's adapters for the Plan B for a bunch of different suppressors, so you don't necessarily have to have a Q suppressor, but you know, these work very well. They're not the greatest, they're not really a muzzle brake. They're a mediocre flash hider in my opinion, but you know what, I don't really run the gun that way. I run it like this. This thing is quiet, bro. So I have a Plan B into my Omega 300 here, and this is how I, you know, run this gun here. So just like that. That's how I run it. And this works incredibly well. Very happy with that. Muzzle device works just fine. If you don't have a suppressor, you can get the whistle tip. And there's actually other manufacturers. I mean, you don't have to necessarily keep this muzzle device on there, but you know, there's other manufacturers who make accessories for Q muzzle devices too. But I would probably get a blast shield because this thing is so freaking short. Next thing going into here, you have the Noveske NHR Rail. This is a 7-inch rail and it works well. The only thing that I don't necessarily care for is the pick rail on the bottom, because there are so many M-LOK hand stops nowadays. I find that there's more M-LOK hand stops than there are pick rail hand stops out there. So I may change this out. It does look really cool and it does give it that uniqueness, and it differentiates itself from the Honey Badger in that respect. The decision is still out on that, and if you guys have any suggestions, I mean, of course, hit me up, let me know. But it feels really good. This rail piece here though, that pick rail, does definitely make it feel fatter than other rails without that bottom piece. So it does feel a little fat, but you know what? I don't mind. You know what? I like them fat bottom girls. Bam. You know what I mean? Big booty. Let's go into the barrel here real quick. It's going to be a little bit longer than the Q. Not a big deal to me. I mean, it's 1 inch longer. It's not a big deal. Everything seemed to work out just fantastic and fine. With shooting this, it was definitely accurate. Oh, it's quiet. I haven't taken out like super long range or anything, but it's 300 blackout. It's not really designed for that. Super smooth, very quiet though. Running it with Nosler 220 grain subsonics. So very happy with that. While we're up kind of in the front here, let's talk about the sights. One of the things that I liked about the Ghetto Blaster is it does come with the Magpul M-Bus Pro sights. These metal sights are some of my favorite metal sights out on the market. They're not spring loaded, which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, they're very, very robust and they're very, very minimal. Obviously those springs and all the little, you know, doodads to operate that are gonna take up some space and add, you know, some material there, but I really do like these. And they come from the factory on this gun. That could be a deciding factor, being that those sights are very hard to find on their own. And they're not cheap, so it's like you kind of add that on to the price of a Honey Badger. You're getting a little bit closer in price between the two, you know what I mean? Or this may seem a little bit better value, I should really say. The optic that I decided to put on here is a Vortex Razor AMG. I have two of them. One is on my Zev build that I did. It's a 14.5 build, which I'll show you guys on the channel here too. But this is a Gen 1, and I was considering putting the Gen 2 on this, but this, in my mind, actually, because the shape of it, it looks better on this. A couple people told me it looks kind of bulky, but I actually think it looks just perfect. I don't think it's bulky at all. I mean, I don't care what it looks like. I'm not shooting the gun this way, shooting the gun this way, and it has a giant field of view. It's freaking sweet, so whatever. The other one that I'd probably put on here is either EOTech, or I'd probably do like an aim point on here. I'd probably do one of those. But those are probably the three. The Razor, EOTech, aim point is pretty much all I'd put on this. and it would just be a 1 magnification. So going back into the charging handle, you got the Geissele. This is their super badass charging handle. This thing is freaking sweet. I had a Geissele on my old Noveske and I really loved it, and this is just not disappointing at all. You guys have seen on my Honey Badger, I actually upgraded the charging handle with the Radian oversized one. It was way bigger because the other one that came with it from the factory was, in my opinion, too small. So this, sweet. It is ambi, which is awesome too for you lefties out there. Love that. Going into like the controls, one of the cool things about this is it is ambidextrous. So it's an ambi bolt release. It's a ambi mag release as well. The Honey Badger, I had to make it an ambi mag release. So if you look back in that video, you'll see that I used the forward control designs ambi mag release, and it is not ambi bolt release. So that is that's a plus for this guy here too. So that could be a deciding factor for y'all. And then the controls, these are the Magpul controls, and they're 45 degree, they're ambidextrous, as you can see here as well. Kind of cool, it comes with it that way. I wish that the controls were metal, they're actually plastic, but it doesn't bug me too much. They function very, very well. So going into the trigger, this is a Geissele trigger. It is ultra crisp. This trigger is very nice. I like it a lot, just super light. The reset is like nothing. I mean, oh my God. I'm gonna put this trigger on every gun I own. I freaking love that trigger. The grip is the Magpul. This is the K2 grip. It's got a little bit more aggressive grip angle on it. I do like that a lot. It's got a little storage compartment underneath, which I dig. The lower has a big giant flared magwell, which is awesome. It is very easy to just find that magwell, feed those babies in. The magazine that comes with it is going to be the M3 Magpul 300 Blackout mag. Awesome. Works very, very well. Happy with that. Let's talk about this brace here. This is going to be the Q brace. It's obviously all black. There are some of the kind of gold accents that you'll see there, that heat treated gold. Very good looking. It's not my favorite on this gun. I really wish this gun was just blacked out. If they had done like a heat treated black on those, that would have been freaking sweet. But you know, that little bit of gold is just not my digs. If you're gonna do it, do a little bit more of it and like kind of finish it off, in my opinion. So maybe do like the gas block in that gold, or the gas tube in that gold. That is something that I do like about the Honey Badger, is those little kind of gold pieces are scattered out around the rifle, you know, kind of bringing it all together and being cohesive. The brace I do like because it does have an extra notch in it. And what I mean by that is this. So you have your fully closed position, you push this button here, and you can bring that brace out. Now on a Honey Badger, that brace is either in or all the way out. This actually has another set of notches in there, so you can stop there or bring it even further out. My magic spot on this gun is that first notch, and I really like that this has that. I think I might have mentioned it in the Honey Badger review that I'm probably going to put another notch in that one. But if that's not something that you want to screw around with, you just want to have it done that way from the factory, again, this may be a better fit for you. Now, the fit and finish is where I really saw a difference. This is definitely heavier than the Honey Badger. Whatever. It's such a small gun. It's so close to your person. I don't really mind it myself, you know, and if it's too heavy, I don't know, work out. There you go, solution. But As far as the fit and finish goes, the coating is beautiful. It's perfect. You know, it's just perfect. And it's black too. So you don't have all these crazy mismatching colors, which for me, I do really like. But for those of you just like want a all black kind of honey badger, well, here you go. This is it as well. But the tolerances between the upper and lower receiver on this are just, there's no wiggle to them. It is ultra tight in a good way. With the honey badger, it is, you can definitely feel the wiggle, and if you hold the gun up to the light, you can see a very clear line between the upper and lower receiver. And I may have mentioned this on the honey badger review. I was like, dude, that's it's kind of silly, you know. And it's fine if you have that line. I mean, you're not gonna have absolute perfection. You know, those of you who built an AR know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you have that little detent, you know, screw inside the lower receiver, and you kind of play around with that, and that way you can really get that upper and lower fitting nice and tight. The honey badger should have absolutely had that from the factory. It didn't. So when I picked up this gun, I was like, oh, that thing is super tight. Like, and I like the tight one, you know? So it was just like, again, gotta have it. So I did. But anyways, I'm you know, I'm hoping that the information I just gave you on this right now was helpful for you if this is something you're looking to invest in, because one, you're probably going to pay full top dollar for it, you know what I mean? But the cool thing is you know, this gun, since I've purchased it, it's gone up in value. My honey badger has gone up in value. But I feel like, you know, this is an investment piece. I don't know how much better the technology can get on these platforms than what they are at right now. And so if you're, you know, looking to invest in a 300 blackout, I think this thing is going to be, you know, perfect for you. And you could also do like what I did if you wanted to convert it over to 5.56 in the time being or anything like that. That's not going to be an issue at all. Finding an upper, because of the cutout here, you know, you're going to keep the same upper and lower just like you would on the honey badger, but getting a longer rail and a longer barrel or whatever, that's going to be easy as pie, you know what I mean? That's no problem. But, you know, I really hope that the information I shared with you between the two was helpful, obviously. I want to make sure that you guys are, you know, getting the most out of these episodes. You know, you guys are awesome supporting the channel in the way that you are doing it. I'm super, super thankful, very blessed to have you guys as Patreon supporters. You are the reason why this channel exists, you know, because YouTube is demonetizing gun channels and you know, any type of conservative anything like crazy. And you may have noticed that, you know, gun reviewers they're dropping like flies because they can't afford to do this. And I'm very blessed to have, you know, my other business ventures that fund these things, but also you guys helping with what we're doing here. So anyways, please like, subscribe, you know, all the stuff, and share everything with your friends, family, other gun enthusiasts. We do have the Rumble. Oh my god, I almost said Bumble. Isn't that a dating site? God. I have a Bumble account, so if you want to hook up. No, is that my OnlyFans? No. Oh god. Here we go. But we have the Rumble account, and we're uploading videos there. So if you have that, definitely like and subscribe, you know, to the channel, and you know, help us get up high in the rankings. And again, thank you guys so much for being Patreon supporters, and I'll see you next time here for another Beyond the Black Shirt unboxing kind of review if we have one going on, or kind of keep you guys updated, because, you know, I do have some other stuff going on, some other builds, so get you guys back in the loop on those. Anyways, thanks so much for joining. You guys be safe out there. Have a cocktail, something like that. I'm having a little Bundaberg, so hey, you know what? I'll probably add some whiskey to this here shortly. All right, cheers. Take care.